Hello, everyone. Welcome to our partner training. Today, we're going to be going over our Cascading Lookup app. And with our Cascading Lookup app, you'll be able to create a real neat cascading effect across several fields. And you'll be able to filter these fields by each other. So let me show you a quick example of what that would look like. You see here in my main list, I'll be adding a new item. And with Cascading Lookup, you'll be able to title your item as so. And then you see here in continent, you'll be able to choose an option like North America, in country, an option like Canada, and in city, an option like Toronto. If you were to choose another option for the continent or the country, you'll get the options below it filtered by what was chosen. You'll see here in this other example that I can title my item New Item, choose North America, then United States for the country, and Miami for the city. And as you can see, Toronto will not show up in the city options. To configure these settings, the first thing you will want to do is create lists for each of the fields that you want to use in your cascading lookup. Now, that means that you will have your main list, whatever the title of that list will be, and lists for every field that you're trying to configure in the cascading lookup column. And for that reason, I have created a list called continent, a list called country, and a list called city in the same site as my main list, which is where the actual cascading lookup will sit. When you head to the continent list, which will be the list that the continent field in the main list looks up to, you're only going to want to put the title for the items that you want there. You won't have to create any additional columns here. Then in your country list, which is going to look up to the continent list, you're going to want to add the different countries that you want in the title. And in an additional column, you're going to want to name that column what the top level option is. In this case, it's continent. So you're going to want to create a column called continent in the country list, apart from the title, which will be the actual country. Now, this column must be a lookup column, and it will be looking up to the continent list. Now you see here, I'm going to show you what the creation of a new item in this country list would look like as you're creating your cascading options. Here, we're going to be creating an item called Canada, and in the continent lookup fields, we're going to look up to North America instead of Europe. Here I will save this item, and you'll see it'll be added there to the different country options that we already have. Now in the city list, the same applies. The title will display the city name, and you will add two lookup columns in this last level. You're going to add the continent column, which is a lookup column, as well as a country column, which is a lookup column as well. Now, once you have the continent and country lookup columns looking up to the continent and country lookup lists, as seen here, we will create the item for the city Toronto, which was seen in our initial example. So we'll put Toronto for the title name. For the country, we'll choose Canada, and the continent, we'll choose North America. And now that option has been created. So once you've established your different cascading options that you want to appear in the cascading lookup columns, we will go ahead, head back to the main list. In this main list, you're going to want to head to the KWIZ apps on the ribbon. When you go to the KWIZ apps, you will want to select the settings wheel besides cascading lookup. And in cascading lookup, you will create all three columns that pertain to the three lists that you created outside of your main list. So firstly, we will create the continent cascading lookup column. And in the in this list option, we will choose continent as well. And we will fill out no other options for this top level cascading lookup column. So we will save that column, and that column has now been created. Now we will create the country column. And here you will, in this list section, choose country as well. Now in the filter by a column in this list, you will choose continent here. And in the show only options where continent equals, you will also choose continent. And this is for the second level. Now you save that column and we'll go ahead and create the last one, which is called city. And same as the country column, you will also select the same name for the in this list, which will be city. And then in the filter by a column in this list, you will choose country, and we will only show options where country equals country. You will fill nothing else out here and select save. And now, as you can see, the cascading lookup works just as intended. And this is how to configure a basic cascading lookup option here in your list. Of course, the application has many more options and abilities, as you saw, and you can find more information in our documentation for Cascading LookApp, which has information on all the other features that this app provides. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this was helpful in understanding how the Cascading LookApp works.